Hi guys, Jplay here, and we're back with 140. Now I'm going to be a bit ambitious and try and go for the harder variants of the levels today. I'm not sure how much after the fact editing this will require, so I try and make the cuts as in time with the music as possible. But we'll have to see how it actually goes. So I think this should be the first level again, but just inverted in some way, and I think without checkpoints. I'm not really sure though. I think I only gave it a look once when I when I first unlocked it on the other computer. Right, that seems to be exactly what this is then. Which could be tricky. Ah. I keep jumping when the thing starts moving, and I know that's not when you should. But it's so hard to not want to jump on the beat. So that's one of the things I found a little unexpected actually when I was first adjusting to this game. Everything moves on the beat and you sort of think on the beat, but you have to actually move at a different pace. I'm starting to get worried already, because I know I've got a way to go on this. Oh, I see where it's going. And again, like Mario Kart, which I mentioned, had a similar effect. It seems just everything seems just slightly more unexpected, not knowing where it's going to be. Just because it's been flipped. It's a very simple change. This is where my nerves start to come back into play again. I'm much more worried about making a mistake for obvious reasons. Oh no, there we go. Whole thing again. So essentially this is like YOLO mode on love or something, so I'm going to skip this first bit. Okay, so we're back where I died last time. I don't feel there's any reason to put you guys through all the repetition which I will be enjoying, let's say, just because I make a stupid mistake here and there. All I really hope is that when you get to the end of the level, it doesn't penalise you if you die in the boss fight. Okay, I didn't last time I played, but that was as much luck as it was anything else, and I think that would get a bit frustrating. That was much closer than I would like. I'm glad that it forces you to play. Oh, I didn't think I'd make that jump. I lost a bit of momentum there for a second. I'm glad that it forces you to play the easy mode first, because otherwise there's no way I would ever have got anywhere on this game. But having the familiarity of having gone through it before makes it significantly easier. Get the springy thing. It's quite cool that all the colours are reversed for this. I thought it was just different palettes, but they were definitely. Oh, I'm trying to jump on the wrong one. That's why I was thinking it was further than I expected. Yeah, it's a little harder to see, to be honest, but it is a nice change, and it emphasises that you're doing something a bit different. It makes the level feel different from how it otherwise would. Scary. Oh no, this is the bit where you don't actually go where I keep thinking you do. Is there something else I need to do? Oh, I'm glad I didn't end up in there. Oh, that was even closer. Right, take care, James, you're almost there. Oh, I should have died there. My indecision luckily worked out, but it didn't really have any right to. So where am I going here? Oh god. Okay, we're almost at boss fight time, and this is where I guess we find out. I'm gonna die here trying to get the globe to finish the level. Oh no! What did I say? Okay, we'll speed forwards a bit when I start the actual level again. This is going a lot better than I expected though. A second attempt and I got that far. I thought it was going to be a 100 affair job. Okay, and we're getting a bit further on now, so I cut out a bunch there just to save time. I don't want to have like a 5-hour video, which largely consists of me doing the same thing again. No one wants to watch that. I've never been sort of a... I have no problem with the people who do sort of rage throughs of games and stuff, but it's not so much my style. Which is another reason you'll never see I want to be the bossy on here or anything. I don't mind a challenge, but things which are just frustrating for frustration's sake sometimes get a bit much for me. Like I just don't see the appeal. Well, I see... Okay, that's completely wrong. I see the appeal, it's just not for me. Therefore, I'm not going to be sitting here raging at something for hours on end and then just putting up videos of myself shouting at the screen. Oh no! So that means that this may be a... There's going to be a lot of editing in here to make it a more pleasurable viewing experience. Alright, we're getting back near the end. And I'm getting stressed out again. Oh, the further through this game I get, the more stressful it is trying to stay alive. I mean, I know that's always going to be the case with something like this. But I'm starting to feel my heart going, you know. Hear that lead, that means we're almost there. Not lead. What is it? Well, apart from just chord stabs. I've never been so good on electronic music production style stuff as I should be. I know leads and pads and that's about all. I don't know what this sort of stabby chord thing is. Right, here is where we find out. Oh god. Of course you got to go to the boss in the other direction as well, but that just confused me for a second there. I thought, what are we going to have to do here? Same thing as you always have to do, James. This is where I'm worried about what will happen. So, slow and steady, but not too slow. Because that just gives me more time to die. Ah! Oh god. Maybe I'll go for this one first. There we go. Ah! That's not to the beginning, is it? Oh, it is as well. Alright, let's go for it again. Just a bit of an interlude to say that this is one of my favourite bits in the level. There's something just so satisfying about doing a little hop. I don't know. It is a very simple way of getting through a stage, but it was one of those things where it encourages basic problem solving, but makes you feel good about doing it. Maybe it's just me, maybe I just have very low standards for myself with this sort of thing, and everyone else is like, oh yeah, it's straightforward. But now every time I go back through that point, it reminds me of the fun of figuring out that sort of moment of realisation of what I had to do next, which is one of the strong points of games like this, really, that satisfied feeling, even if it was just sort of a die maybe twice and then figure it out style thing. It feels like more of an achievement. That said, I talk about all the satisfaction of solving problems for yourself. I still haven't finished Portal 2, which is a shame because I love what I have played of it. I think I got to a level and managed to do all of it except for the oh, that was dangerous. I managed to do all of it except for the getting to the actual door, so I did all the opening things, triggering like 5 things, and then just ended up on the opposite side of a body of water and got stumped. Alright, so almost boss time again, provided I don't die at the last minute like I did before. So we are going to see the boss fight again. Just need to remember, try to get shot less. I think my timidity might have caused actual problems last time, rather than helping too much. I mean, to some extent, of course, that helped with my dodging, but I was also just getting myself into all sorts of trouble by my fear of commitment. Well, my boulder jumping approach seems to have worked wonders. Damnation. I committed too late. So, this time through, I've been pondering to myself as I did that last run, does it take some of the excitement out of it if it only shows when I get further. Well, obviously I haven't been cutting out runs where I've just died straight away, because you just saw me put the run in there. There was one where I died right at the beginning getting this first orb, which hasn't made the cut, or which I predict won't. Obviously I'm editing it after the fact and I'm talking now, but I feel like, I don't know why, I had no problems getting that first time almost every other time, apart from the time where I died. But as soon as I start talking again, I'm completely incapable of following along with what I'm doing. But yeah, I thought it would be a good refresher, let's say, to go through the whole level with commentary and such like again, instead of just cutting towards the end, because I want to show the boss fight, I want to beat the boss fight for obvious reasons. But that, if there's just one harder part of a level and that's all I focus on because of that, it's going to be misrepresentative of the game and the level as a whole. So I thought I'll hop back through this whole thing. I've got to say, this isn't as punishing as I expected. Obviously the permadeath's fairly unforgiving, but mostly it's not as difficult as I anticipated, so... I thought I'd try that this time to see if I could make the jump in time. I thought it'd be a bit more tricky, but also just more interesting to see if that was possible. If I hadn't have made it, I would have been quite pissed off at myself though, so... Likewise here, I just go for it now and hope that I land on something. And again, that's a playstyle more suited for frequent checkpointing, I think. So we've got a minute to chill out here. I like this. Looks like sunrise in the background after a fairly dark part of the level. Or sunset, maybe. Silhouettes of skyscrapers in front of some slowly sinking sun, with extra sibilance. And the springboard bit comes up next. See, I feel like I know this level so much better now than I did half an hour ago. Well, I'm going to skip forward again until I'm somewhere worthy of note. Now this footage we're coming across here is from a bit later on. At this point I think I was recording without having set up the mic properly, just because I was grinding away at it, so I spent more than an hour on this level overall, over the course of 2 sessions, and by this point I was starting to thoroughly miss checkpoints, so I have no promises about finishing the rest of the levels anytime soon, but I got there. Spoilers, by the way, I guess, because this is actually the winning run which I'm showing now. Obviously I would have liked to do it with the commentary at the time, but sometimes my microphone plays up if I don't recalibrate the settings properly in between different recordings. So you can see I'm becoming more timid here. There was a run in which I somehow hit the static without really noticing by standing too close to the wall when it wasn't even moving. So that was a very slow journey down compared to what I normally have. But now it's getting to the point where you would think it's impossible to lose, were it not for the fact that earlier in this, or impossible to not get to the boss stage were it not for the fact that earlier in this video you did see me die on this section. So easy this time, sort of. And then onto the boss battle. Now I already sang its praises earlier in the original video on the easy mode, checkpointed version of this boss, but I really do enjoy it, largely because it's in keeping with the rest of the game, but also unexpected. So it doesn't feel out of character, but it feels interestingly different, which I think is all you can hope for in a boss fight. And I really wasn't expecting a boss fight in a game like this. I thought it would be like something like the Impossible game, where you just get to the end and that's it, and you generally hate yourself and regret the time you put in. No, it's not that bad, it's just not my cup of tea. That's a game where the checkpoint free versions did nothing for me. But anyway, I should be focusing more on the battle at hand and my timid teetering backwards and forwards and how close I just was to getting hit. But no drama being played up here. I won. Simple as. And at this point you can see me just looking at the orb for the next level and thinking, God damn, I've got to do that 2 more times. The boss fight for the next level absolutely terrifies me, so I make no promises about getting the next video up anytime soon at all, or possibly ever. But for now, I've been JPlay, and this, for an indeterminate amount of time, has been 140. Thanks for watching.